Hey, that's the lighting. Yeah, lighting's the way the lighting is. The lighting is the way the lighting is. I don't look super pretty. I've kind of got a glow on my head. My eyes are all puffy. How big of an issue is vanity going to be for me this morning? I don't know. Probably bigger issues than... Good morning, John Carl. Bigger issues than how it'll look at 5:44 in the morning on a Sunday. Sunday in mid to late August 2024. Where'd the year go, by the way? How are we already coming up on fall? Saw a video guy talking, an older gentleman, and saying how fast time moves as we age. It's true. Turned 56 a week or two ago. Hello, P. McLaughlin. Hello, curly girl. A week or two ago, I turned 56. I think I worked that night at a different restaurant that I'm working at now. I had a sprained ankle. Some things don't change so fast. My ankle's still not right. Thank you, John Carl. But again, we're already 2 weeks past it. Just now remembering to tell people I'm 56 years old. Yeah. Sorry, you got to bear with me today. This might not be a very good show. I don't know if any of my shows are very good. I don't know if any of them are very good. But I do what I can. I be who I am. Even when I'm glowing in the dark and my eyes aren't awake. Let's have some water. The best is yet to come. I love your spirit, curly girl. I love your spirit. In life and in my show. Hold on, I'm going to see what I can do if I can turn on a couple lights. It's kind of fun. I can walk away from my show. Let's see if that balances out the light. I don't know if it balances out the light at all, but I don't know. Any show done better than a show not done. Well, John Carl, or is it John Carl? Oh, curly girl, no, I'm feeling good. Life does get better. I'm happier now than I've probably been at every, any moment in my life. I really probably am. It seems ridiculous. But I think it's true, and I think we get wiser and more content. But, I'm working hard. I'm working as a waiter. I'm staying in an extended stay. I'm twice divorced. I miss my kids, but I still think I'm happier than I've ever been. Huh? Who would have thought? They say youth is wasted on the young. Perhaps it is. But wisdom is saved for the old. And when you're young and you got energy and you want to go out to the bars after work and have a race with somebody you work with after a few drinks and bet $30 on it. I'm telling you an actual story of two people I work with. And they were going to race for $30. And I'll tell you what, we didn't get out of the restaurant till midnight. They still had to go to a bar, have a few drinks, and then do a race. And yes, I could have come along. I could have tagged along. But the last thing I wanted to do last night after working 8 hours And I don't drink, so that certainly takes some of the luster out of, good morning, Chip, some of the luster out of going to a bar. But the last thing I wanted to do was go out, stay up later, meet friends out, and race. Whether it was for $30 or $3,000, and whether I was the fastest guy on the planet or not. But anyway, good morning, Will Bill Chill, and good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Sunday morning. I think it's August 18th. I should start looking at the day of the month it is before I go live. But this morning, just going live was about all I could muster. But anyway, happy Sunday. This is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It's a show about me talking. It's a show about me sharing some feelings. Kind of sharing a little bit about the ups and downs that we all have in life. Sharing one man's adventure as I navigate my way down life's uncertain path. But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know, and this is the one thing that really got me going today. It wasn't easy waking up. I woke up, it was easy waking up because I couldn't sleep anymore, but I wanted to sleep more. Oh, did I want to sleep more? Because I didn't fall asleep till after midnight. And waking up before 5 when you're up past midnight is not what you're looking to do. It's certainly not what I was looking to do. But I laid there. I tried some tricks. I tried some gratitude. I said a little prayer. I listened to some meditative stuff. But I felt like my heart was still racing. Don't think I was having a heart attack, so don't worry about it. You don't have to call 911. And I thought I could convince myself to fall back asleep. And again, I was doing all my mental tricks I've learned. None of them were working. So, at least for the moment, I put the mental tricks down. Got out of bed. Did some stretching, some of these and some of these. And at one point I went, oh, let out a really loud groan. Hope nobody was walking down the hall. I doubt anyone was walking down the hall because it was 5:15 on a Sunday morning. But, but got my coffee started. Opened the windows to see if it was night or morning or day or night. Still not totally sure. Still don't have my eyes open. But I started the coffee. And I'm excited to have my first sip. And my hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you have a hot cup of coffee as well. Cheers to us. Oh, it's the pumpkin spice. I think you all know. Yeah, Curly Girl even said it. I think you all know. I have 2 bags of coffee, and I only have like maybe I don't think I even have enough for a pot of the pumpkin spice left. But I figure, what the heck? Good morning, RJ. That is why God gave us grocery stores, so we could buy more coffee. I heard God is quite a caffeine addict. Oh, but that is nice. Really is. I tell you, one of the little blessings in life is a hot cup of coffee. So I was getting ready this morning and stretching and getting the coffee brewing. was kind of, my mind was going a little too actively this morning. Again, I worked till, I got out of there at about 11:30 last night and didn't fall asleep till, I don't know, 12:15, 12:30 maybe. And I don't know, here I am at 5:53. How am I feeling, RJ? Tired. I think I'm tired, but not like sleep tired necessarily. Although, in a couple hours before my day really gets going, I might take a nap. I take some of the earliest naps in the history of naps. I don't know if they're really officially continuations of sleep or amazingly early naps. I felt, and I hate to say tired because everyone says they're tired, but and I don't, during the day I'm not going to say I'm tired, but I look back on the last month or so, and I've taken an extraordinary number of naps. Maybe the last 3 months since I've waited tables. I think I've taken an extraordinary number of naps. I think sometimes it's hard to get a good night's sleep when you're after waiting tables. I'm not totally sure why that would be, but I think you're kind of at a high level when you're waiting and you're running around and you're trying to clear the tables and get them set and do your side work and take care of your customers. And the blur that was the 7 hours and 47 minutes that I was checked into the restaurant last night. And near the end, I'll tell you, my legs were kind of beat. And I'm just training. It's my second training week in a row. We don't need to tell that story again. It's too painful for me to tell. But, and the gentleman, a cool kid, I don't know if he's a kid, he's in his mid-30s, I believe, but kid I was training under, nice guy, was asking if I had any questions a few times. Because I think there's a point in the night when I've been shadowing for 7 or 8 hours, or 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, whatever. Probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours that the trainer doesn't have the training manual, and there's not necessarily an exact specific plan to train. And they're looking to add value, so they ask if I have any questions. And I tell you, it was like 11 o'clock last night, and I wanted to have a good attitude, but if I had one question, it was, can I go home now? Can I go home now? I didn't say that. I go, no, not really. I think you learn best by doing, and I think I'm ready. I think I'm over ready. I'm overcooked. I'm well done. And, no matter what, you're never perfect when you first walk up to a table or first make that sales pitch or presentation or whatever. The first time you do anything in life, for real, I don't know. You can only spend so much time preparing, and I don't know. You just got to dive in the pool and get to work. It's kind of fun the first day waiting tables because you go up and you go, hey, you're my very first table I've ever waited on here. And they'll go, hey, well, let me ask you, does that wine or that dinner or that whatever, does it have a hint of smoke? And you go, I have no idea. I have no idea. It's my first day. And I don't know if anyone, I don't even know if I can pull it off, but I think I can pull it off. I kind of laugh a little bit at life and maybe laugh at myself and maybe laugh at work. And I don't think it's because I don't take them seriously, but I think I only take all those things as serious as you can take them. I'm not sure going through life stern or serious or super well thought out or super cautionary would work for me. Uh, RJ says, just pretend you know what you're doing. I don't even think so. I don't even think so. I don't even think so. We've all started a new job. I think anytime I pretend, I suck. Anytime I pretend, I suck. You know, I think just doing your best and going, hey, here's what we do. Here's what we have. Here's my favorite dish. How you guys doing? Thanks for coming. My name is Ken. Can I get you something to drink to start off, or you need a couple minutes? And one step after the other. Yeah, I don't know. They get their food, they get their drinks. Hopefully they have a nice time. I bet they do. And you do your best. And hopefully you come across customers that are cool. And most customers are cool. Most people are cool. And, you know, life's cool pretty much. Chip asked if I'm going to make more money. How am I going to make more money? I've worked at 2 restaurants in the last 2 weeks. I finished training at a really neat one, a really cool one, a really one I would recommend. Not that the one I work at now I wouldn't recommend, but I think there was something neat about the dining experience at the one I started at 2 weeks ago. And then, although I knew I was, when I took the job, they said, hey, you know, how about 2 or 3 shifts a week? And I said, okay, I'll take it, because I was offered a job. I didn't ask any questions. And I was hoping, you know, pick up shifts or get a full schedule somehow, some way. But at the end of the training, I think they came to the realization that there wasn't going to be enough work for me and enough shifts for me. And they had somebody else coming back. I didn't like it. I told them I didn't like it, but whatever. You know, they're not in business to please me or keep me happy or keep me fed or keep my bills paid or anything. They got to do what's right for them. And I think at some point we got to do what's right for us and what makes us sleep at night. But either way, I recovered and got another job, and it's where there's going to be more hours. So I think monetarily, this one's going to, I mean, monetarily, this one's definitely going to be better because I don't have the other one anymore. But I think working 2 or 3 nights a week, although it would have been, I think, maybe more lucrative by the hour pay, it wouldn't have been more lucrative as a whole, if that makes sense. And hope it does, because I think at this job I'm going to be able to work 40 hours a week. And I'll tell you what, as I learned in Yellowstone, if you work 40 hours a week, as a waiter, you can make a weird amount of money. I did not know. I never made a weird amount of money as a waiter because I was maybe working 20 hours a week, and it was 10 years ago the last time, as kind of a part-time side gig. And when food was half as much and drinks were half as much and I was working half as much. And yes, my expenses are more, but it still feels funny. I guess I always knew it. One nice thing as a waiter is you work kind of hard, but you can make like a real living, which is good, because here I am. Best item on the menu, I don't know right now. I haven't, I'll tell you what, they have a really good hamburger. I had the hamburger last night, it was delicious. The kitchen had closed, and I wasn't done for work, so the kitchen was put in a to-go, or the hamburger was put in a to-go, and the fries were put also in a to-go, and it probably sat there for 45 minutes before I realized where it was. Again, I'm just learning my way around. So it was kind of sat and not as hot as it should be, and the fries were a little soggy, but it was still pretty damn good, I'll tell you that. Oh, my coffee is cooling off to the point I want to not put it down. I want to not put it down. Hope you guys are hanging with me today and cutting me some slack, just like my first table will. Cut me some slack. You're going to cut me some slack because you know I was up late and I was up early. And I'm doing my best, even if your best isn't. Your best has to be good enough. So it's Sunday. I hear the traffic whirring outside. John said something. I can't read it. And I see the sunlight coming up. I was thinking about my day today, and it's Sunday. And for you guys, most of you guys watching know I have 4 beautiful kids, and going to see at least 3 or 4 of them today. I think where I'm at right now is a fairly exhausting period of life. And maybe life often is. And maybe all you guys listening going, hey, you should check out my day, or check out what I did at work last night, or check out the interaction I'm having with my kids, or my ex-wife, or my spouse, or my father, or my son. Stop your whining, Ken. And I realize that. But I was working didn't get home till midnight, and did wake up before 5. And I laid there, and again, I was trying to hear some inspirational stuff, and one of the voices inside my head said something about doing it now and taking on doing it now. Space Monkey. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. We'll just take care of them. I don't have much trouble on Instagram. I don't have much trouble on Instagram, so I sometimes let my guard down. But I had to just remove Space Monkey from the conversation. Do I need admins? Yeah, I mean, it's nice on other social media platforms, also known as TikTok. You definitely need admins because you have people hopping on saying stupid things and trying to get attention in stupid ways. Whatever floats their boat. It doesn't happen often on Instagram. And, yeah. I took care of this person. I thought I took care of him. Hey, from Scotland. Good morning. Yeah, Curly Girl, it is rude, and he was trying to defend it. I mean, it is that bad. I mean, yeah. We don't need to go into the specifics because it'd probably be giving that person too much attention. But I think things happen for a reason. No, it's ridiculous. Do I get to work downtown? Yeah. You mean downtown Naperville, Jack Taylor? I do. I do work downtown Naperville. It's a place you know, Jack Taylor. It's a place you know, I think. I don't know how often you come to Naperville, but it's a cool place. It's downtown. It's got a thing. Saw some customers I knew last night. It was the first time. I guess I've only been there 2 nights. But I saw some former real estate customers of mine showed up. And nice young couple that was looking to buy a home maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And they waved at me, and I went over and I introduced myself and asked them their names again. And real nice young couple were sitting at the bar, so not at my table or anything. And asked them if they ever ended up buying a house. And they said no, they didn't. And I get why they didn't buy a house, and I'm not surprised why they didn't buy a house, because when we were looking, the real estate market was just starting to heat up. And in the couple months we were looking, they got priced out of the market. They were at a low end for the western suburbs, but 5 years ago you could have found a decent home for, I don't know what their price range was, maybe 250, 275, something like that. But very quickly, and just in the few months we were looking, they went from small single family that needs a little love to maybe trying to get a townhome to can't even afford that. And it was right as the real estate market was, the prices were going up, and a lot of people, they included, me included, have gotten priced out. And I think a lot of people have. RJ wants to know what's the low end price right now, 400 grand. I don't know. We were looking in, this couple was looking in a town called Woodridge, and those that are from the area are going to know Woodridge. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have my finger on the pulse of real estate like I did. But I would bet I was living in a tiny little home about a year ago? Year and a half ago, and it was a real tiny little home. And I wouldn't recommend it for a couple, or you'd have to be squeaking by if you were a couple with a child. And maybe at this time of life we have to squeak by, and we have to do what we do, and we have to put 2 kids in a room, or not get a half-acre lawn with a swimming pool, and maybe cut back our expectations. But that little tiny home I was in would probably be in the mid 3s now, and it seems kind of crazy to me. Maybe not, but it still seems kind of crazy. Oh, that's good. Are you guys drinking coffee? I think I need you to support me in the conversation, Ed. I'll meet people out for coffee. And I'll be at my sister's house and sit down with my dad or my brother or my sister or whoever the heck's there. I wonder, I think they do. I think people do enjoy having coffee with Ken. I think people do enjoy having coffee with Ken. I don't know who this Ken guy is. Sometimes he can be quiet and introspective and deep in thought. Oh, Curly Girl got pumpkin spice creamer. Match PT is drinking Dunkin'. You guys are getting me excited. Well, Curly Girl, I appreciate that. You guys and girls are getting me excited. I'm going to go get a little more coffee. Chat amongst yourselves. Oh! I think I might be getting too old for this waiting stuff. Never too old. I only kind of joke about my age because it's kind of funny. I don't know how this happened. How did I turn? Well, I appreciate that, John. I'm not that bad. What is the best coffee, everyone? Right now, it's pumpkin spice. So let's have some. You guys decide that. Hello, Julie Flanagan. Julie Flanagan, you're going to be happy to know, or creeped out to know. I was thinking of you a little bit this morning. I wonder where Julie Flanagan's been. I wonder if she's so busy fishing with her man on her new fancy schmancy house on the lake that she doesn't like to have coffee with Ken anymore. I wasn't really thinking that, but I was thinking, where's Julie Flanagan? I haven't seen her in a while. Mash PT says Good and Gather pumpkin spice. Yeah, I think any pumpkin spice is pretty good. And I've done taste comparisons between the Good and Gather and the Starbucks and the Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice. And I enjoyed the heck out of them all. And And if you handed a guest a cup of pumpkin spice from any of the three, it would just come down to taste. So Good and Gather, which is Target's store brand, is a great value for coffee if anybody's looking. I want to tease Julie, but she's one of my favorite people. I've never actually even met Julie, but she's a sweet woman that lives in Wisconsin. And I want to tease her because she's speaking in the third person right now. She just said, Julie is fishing. I wonder if she literally means she's fishing, like she's out on a dock. I wonder if she's using a bobber. Bobbers are kind of fun. The feeling and the excitement of when I don't know how many fishermen or women we have out there, of when your bobber twitches a little bit. And you're going, oh, I got a nibble. I got a niggle. Set the hook. And such an exciting thing. Oh, you are out on the dock. You catching anything this morning, Julie? I hope so. I hope the fishing's good. Hope your man fillets them. So I don't know what I have for you this morning. I've been talking about an hour. I've been alternating between TikTok and Instagram. And I felt just a friendly conversation here on Instagram would be best. RJ wants a fish in memory. Julie says she's fishing for smallmouth bass. I tell you, I don't think there's a more fun fish to catch than smallmouth bass. Julie lives on a lake, but river fishing, wading through rivers, and you can almost, once you get pretty good at fishing, especially on a river or even on a lake, but you can kind of almost think like a fish, as crazy as that sounds. And you can kind of, especially I think on a river, see, hey, if I'm a smallmouth bass, I'm not going to want to be out in the current. I'm going to want to be behind a rock or along that bridge or in the shade or what have you. And you start thinking like a fish and you cast your bait where you think the fish would be. And I tell you, once you get good, you kind of works out. Feels great. Fish in memory. I mean, I've got a few. Probably the coolest fish was, I've caught a bunch of cool fish. I tell you, during the first, the original September 11, 2001, I was a stockbroker. I left stock brokerage, but I was a day trader, if you will, which was real trendy, which meant you were in the stock market at a time when things were going up a lot, so you could pretend you're smart because anything you bought made money. So I was that sort of day trader. And but because of what happened on 9/11, they shut the markets down for a while, and they shut air traffic down for a while, and they shut sporting events down for a while, and the world kind of got shut down. And as a day trader with a lot of positions on that couldn't trade those positions in any way and just had to wait till the markets opened up, and I didn't know when, I had some time on my hands, and I was living in Lincoln Park in Chicago, and knew a little bit about lake fishing, but didn't know a ton, and knew that Lake Michigan had some really good bass along the shore, but wasn't sure. Went out to the lake and brought my little spinning rod, and there was a bunch of fishermen out there. They said they were salmon fishing. I didn't know much about salmon fishing, and certainly didn't know anything about salmon catching. And was casting along the shore, right off Fullerton, if anyone specifically knows that area, which was just a walking distance from where I lived in Lincoln Park. And I hooked into a salmon. And I will tell you what, I probably wet my pants. Was super excited. The fish broke off. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have the drag set right. I didn't probably have the right pound test. I don't know if I had 6 or 8 pound test at the time, and I might have hooked into a 15-pound angry salmon and said, holy smokes, and was so excited. And must have brought my car because I drove up to, I think, a place called like Park Bait Shop up a mile or two north on Belmont, and got a little better gear, a little heavier test, and went back. And you had to work for the fishing a lot, but my brother got kind of hooked on it, pun not intended. But during, the Lake Michigan, I assume all the Great Lakes have salmon. And I don't believe they're naturally there. I think they were stocked at one point, and the fish come back near the end of their life to spawn in the harbors and spawn in the channels and lay their eggs. And I don't even think the eggs take, or I don't think the cycle repeats itself, or maybe it does. I don't even know. But either way, they're getting late in life. I think they're 3 or 4 years old. And there's different types of salmon. There's king salmon and there's Chinook. And the king can be real big. Biggest I caught might have been like 15 or 16 pounds. But I'll tell you what, you're along Lake Michigan, which is just a beautiful, beautiful body of water. And just a beautiful body of water. And honestly, I probably don't enjoy the fact that I live by the city as much as I should. But maybe that's okay. I've had my time. I'm telling my stories right now. And but just a beautiful body of water. And you're along the shore, and there's just this cement spot between, I think it's North Avenue Beach and, I don't know, right just near North Avenue Beach, and you're walking along and you're fighting this salmon, and you're using, not really heavy gear, or at least I wasn't. And this fish would take off, and your drag would scream, and you'd go, I hope I have enough line. You reel it in and take off again. And pretty soon a bunch of my friends that I was living with kind of knew, and it was a fun place to be. We were, what was I? I guess I was probably 34, 33 or something at that time. And I had a bunch of friends that lived down there, and we'd kind of hang out. And I don't know if we drank beer there or not, but I think we had coolers. I know we had coolers because we threw the fish in something. But it was a really cool time. And again, we'd go, even when I was living back in the suburbs for the next few years, my brother and my buddy and I would wake up and go out there early. And you weren't guaranteed to catch fish, but I'll tell you, when you did, it was pretty darn exciting. And the whole shore got excited, and people were watching, and it's really neat to watch somebody from shore fighting in a 15-pound fish. And it's really cool watching. So that's a fishing memory for you. Oh, but it's Sunday morning. I don't think I'm going to be doing any fishing today. My fishing gear is at my ex-wife's home. I'm traveling light and traveling minimalist and living light and living minimalist. And I have a set of golf clubs that I haven't used in a year and a half there. And she's been talking about having a garage sale. Part of me wants to commit to the streamlined lifestyle and say, hey, you can sell the golf clubs, you can sell the fishing gear. Kind of would make me sad, but kind of might be a fresh start. Again, I haven't golfed in over a year, haven't fished in over a year. I don't know if my golfing days or fishing days are over, but just because I let my equipment go wouldn't mean they had to be over. But maybe I've turned a new page, or maybe I've turned a new chapter, and maybe being light on my feet is more important than having a set of golf clubs that probably worth a couple $1,000 that she could be lucky to get a couple hundred for at a garage sale. I don't know. You can always acquire more things or make more money. And maybe being streamlined would be okay. Julie says, save the fishing gear. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to get Bassmaster magazine and Field and Stream. And I would buy, I don't know, whatever reels, and I'd use spinning gear primarily. I like spinning fishing, or I know how to do it the best. I'm pretty darn good with it. But I would have, I think it might have been Shakespeare would have been the fancy gear. Or if I didn't have money, I might have bought a Zebco reel or what have you. And I remember there was an ad for a fishing gear company, a company by the name of Shimano, and those that fish will know it. But I think it was some people out on like a flat boat out on the ocean, and I think they may have hooked a shark or something like that, and they were using a Shimano rod and reel. And I remember wanting that as a kid and buying a good name brand was certainly out of my budget as a child, but you know, when you become an adult, spending $50 or $75 on a reel is very doable. But as a kid, that wouldn't have been possible. And I bought all the Shimano gear. Be a little sad to let it go because it's still good stuff. Would I be sad about the golf clubs? I don't know. I mean, I bought the bag a couple of years ago, and it was probably $200. But honestly, although the irons are all Pings, which are a real good brand for anybody golfing, I probably bought them 25 years ago. So they are far from the latest and greatest. But I think if you're a good golfer, you know, you can probably be pretty darn good with any equipment you're using. I think no matter how much money the golf equipment companies convince you that if you buy the newest putter or the newest driver or the newest set of irons or the newest golf shoes, that your golf game is going to get better, I don't think it ever does get any better. I don't think it does get any better. I don't know, you bring out a new driver and you hit some shots and you feel it's magic, or you get a new putter and you get that confidence. And yes, confidence does matter. But then the putter's not so new and not first time out, and you miss a 3-footer that's a slider downhill and it rolls 5 feet behind the cup, and you miss the comebacker and you lose your faith and you lose your confidence. And then you go buy a new putter and you buy a new driver because you knock three in a row out of bounds. I remember there was a time I was playing Oak Meadows in, I think it's a town called Wooddale, but right by Elmhurst or Addison, not too far. Of course, I played a lot. I was playing really well. I've never broken 80. I think the lowest score I've ever had was an 81. Now I couldn't break 100. But I think I had a chance to break 80 on the 17th hole. And I was driving the ball really well all day. And I slapped three in a row out of bounds or lost to the right, never to be found, and took a 10 on that hole. And it was only like a 330-yard hole, and I probably didn't need to use driver either way, but I was feeling confident. Perhaps I was too confident. And ended up maybe shooting a, I don't know, 90 or an 88 or whatever I might have shot, which was just kind of a good score, but I didn't break 80 that day, I'll tell you that. I used to get mad and throw clubs. Used to be fairly good, and my expectations were higher. I remember having tantrums on the course, and I was drinking too much. And I think generally my front nine was usually pretty good. And then for some reason, also known as drinking too much, I don't know, I'd invariably or inevitably end up shooting a big number on the back and blowing up, it's called. Yeah. What's my favorite iron? I don't know. I'd like to say I was pretty good in the day with certainly my short irons. I felt really good with my wedges. I had a good wedge game. Now, if I'm lucky enough to hit a good drive, and granted, I haven't played in a long, long time, but if I'm lucky enough to hit a good drive on a shorter hole, and I might have a short iron in or even a wedge if it's a real short hole, I don't know, I'll duff the wedge or I'll thin it or I'll put it in the sand trap if I hit it well. Then I'll take two to get out and three putt and still take a 7. David Faber asked, have I replaced alcohol with coffee? No. I always drank coffee too. I would say, if anything, I've replaced alcohol with good habits, with working out, with video production, with working hard, with working on myself. Coffee wouldn't be any sort of replacement for alcohol. I mean, it's something nice to hold. But I always drank coffee. I always had, because, when you're driving, it's nice to have a companion. And sometimes a cup of coffee is nice on a long drive or what have you. I'd call it a friend. But when you're golfing, you'd usually have a Coors Light, or maybe if you weren't that thirsty, a Heineken rattling around in your golf cart. And if it was a fancy course, you might have a couple in the cooler in the back. And if you were out with fancy friends and they prepared for the outing and you all drank too much, you might have... I had a neighbor that was a chef friend and was really into food, and he was British, and he would prepare like Bloody Marys, these awesome pitchers of Bloody Marys for our trips to the golf course on Sunday mornings. That was nice. RJ prefers early morning golfing, no alcohol, the sunrise and good weather. I rarely golf without alcohol. And maybe that's why I don't golf that much anymore. Or I don't bowl that much. Or I don't go to bars that much. I just work out and go to work and do my coffee shows and go to Starbucks and love on my kids when I get the chance. Speaking of get the chance, somebody asked if I was going to church today. Yeah, I got a text from my oldest. My oldest is going to school tomorrow. It's time for kids to go back to college or go off to college. And My oldest turned 18 earlier this year. And she's going to meet me at church today. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not working tomorrow, and I'm not working today. And I'm pretty happy that I'm not working tomorrow and not working today. I want to talk about that in a minute, but looking forward to seeing my daughter and seeing her at church. And it's kind of neat that she enjoys going to church with her old dad. I'm going to get all teary-eyed. But I'm not working tomorrow, and she's packing up in the afternoon, and her mom and she are going to be driving out to her college, and she's super excited, nervous. I'm excited for her and a little nervous for her, but I know she's going to do great, and I know she's ready. She's a mature young lady, and she tries real hard, and is going to be living on her own for the first time. It's kind of cool. I'm nervous for her, but I'm proud at the same time. Feels good. What was I going to say? There was something about work. I had a work thought. Oh. It was nice being done with work last night. And after working almost an 8-hour shift and standing on my feet, and I think a lot of it's hard because I'm just training right now. So I don't feel as productive as I should be. And I'm there for 8 hours, and time goes slower, and I'm making less money. And I've been doing it because of the 2 jobs for my second week in a row. But I was kind of tired. And there's times, and it's always been this way, there's times at night when you have a great shift or a great table, or you just feel like you've figured it out and you know how to do everything. And you get big tips that night and you make a lot of money, and you're going, hey, this is awesome. It was not bad last night, but again, I was training and I was learning and I was feeling uncomfortable, and I didn't know the menu, and I don't know all the drinks, and I don't know where anything is, but I'm learning. But again, time goes a little slower when you're not handling the tables or managing the customers or trying to learn or trying to keep busy or trying to what have you. And last night, although it was manageable and I was okay, and it was work, because sometimes I guess work is just work. I woke up this morning questioning, wow, I'm tired. My ankles are sore. I was standing a long time. That was a long shift. All these thoughts. Can I keep it up? What should I do? I've got a couple days off. Should I get my laptop from my buddy's house where I left it before I headed off to Yellowstone, put together a resume, apply for more serious real jobs? What type of serious real job would I want to even do? Could I do this? Could I do that? Should I go live on Coffee with Ken today? Does Coffee with Ken matter? Will anybody tune in? Will I have anything to say? Is it worthwhile now that I have an audience and post these videos and get stuff off my chest and also get compensated and make, I don't know, $4 or $5 from YouTube when I post a video on YouTube? Does that matter? Does it add up? Is it significant? Should I keep going? These are the thoughts I had when I woke up this morning. And while I don't have answers to any of those questions, I've kept going. I got my coffee. I did my stretches. I groaned a little bit. Opened the windows. Thought of things I was grateful for. Poured my coffee. Pushed live on Instagram. Talked for about 40 minutes. And got my day started. Curly Girl says, I need sponsorship from Starbucks. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. I think it was about 2 years ago. It might have been on TikTok that the TikTok Starbucks corporate started following me, and I thought that was neat. And they reached out, their marketing department, and said, "Hey, send you $100 gift card if you post a cool video about Starbucks and I don't know, bring coffee to firemen or something like that." I thought it was a neat idea. I thought it'd be fun, and they would have promoted it, I'm sure. But at the time, it was a really hard period, and I was really bummed. And the thought of putting together a feel-good Starbucks commercial / video, I didn't have in me. And I reached out to him and told him that. I go, "Hey, I was just seeing a therapist. I was just separated from my second ex-wife. It was a painful as heck separation. Was leaving real estate and was feeling a lot of negative thoughts and hurting inside. And I'm not good at faking emotions, really. And just didn't have it in me. So I reached out and told them that. And said I could send the card back. And they go, no, just enjoy it. And it was nice. So I still have a extra warm, soft, and fuzzy spot for Starbucks because of that. Because they reached out and they understood and they weren't concerned and what have you. Do I still do yoga? I would say I do. I don't practice. I think you can always do yoga. I think yoga is kind of, this is going to sound weird, but a little bit of state of mind. And whether you practice for an hour or 10 minutes or just do a couple really intentional stretches, you can call it yoga. And if you're focusing on your breathing and you're focusing on your body movement, I think my yoga practice is not what it was for sure, but I still do yoga. I still stretch in the morning and I still stretch at the gym and hit a few of my favorite positions, but I'm not as focused on yoga as I was, and I'm back in the gym and I'm lifting weights, and so I still do it, but my practice is not as focused on yoga as it was. But I still focus on my breathing and my stretching and realize it's good in all sorts of different ways. And I think it'll always be part of who I am and part of my thought process and part of my exercise routine. And what I used to call stretching has a new meaning to me. And it's more than just stretching, and it's getting my body and my mind in the right place when I need it to be in the right place. So yeah. Somebody said that the guy from Chipotle took over Starbucks. Yeah, I saw that, and that was big news, and the Starbucks stock went up a bunch. And we talked about Starbucks, the stores, and this guy the other day, I think he came from Chipotle, and maybe before that, Taco Bell. Wall Street thought it was a big loss for Chipotle, and Wall Street thought it was a big gain for Starbucks. It's amazing how much, hiring a new CEO or letting a CEO go can change a billion-dollar company by, 10 or 15 or 20% on a given day. It's amazing to think that one man or woman can make that much of a difference for a huge corporation. Probably can if he does it, or he or she does it right. And probably can. Did I ever eat Chipotle? Well, yes, I've certainly eaten Chipotle. And I'll tell you what, I've almost never been more wrong on a stock than Chipotle. That stock just goes up, other than last week when they lost their CEO. But I thought it was just a fad when it came out 10 years ago, or whenever it came out, when it started 10 years ago. And I thought the stock should have been shorted And at the time it might have been 50, and now it's 1,500 or whatever it is. And it's split a few times probably. So for anybody that watches it, the numbers won't make sense. But it's up so much since I thought it was going out of business. So for anybody out there that thinks I'm super smart and knows everything about the stock market, I don't know everything about the stock market. The one thing I do know is I don't know everything about the stock market. Because I thought Chipotle was just a passing fad and was going to go out of business 10 or 15 years ago whenever it was a newer company. And I was very wrong about that. But as far as their product, I would say I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it. To me, it's almost not like a burrito. To me, it's almost not like a burrito. It's too clean and maybe healthy. And when I want a burrito, I want to go to a greasy joint with chorizo and sour cream and... Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like when I go out for breakfast... What's it called? There's a place. It's a chain, and it's in downtown Naperville, and it's slipping my mind right now. But there's a chain in downtown Naperville, a breakfast place, and their food comes out like picture perfect, and the omelet is a certain way, and the one slice of cheese is so evenly placed, and it's fairly good. But it feels the same for me. When I go out for breakfast, I want a joint. I want a huge, massive omelet with cheese falling out of it and ham chunks falling out of it and a bunch of hash browns, more than should be on the plate. And the same thing with burritos. I want a big, greasy, slimy, half chorizo, half steak, unhealthy thing with sour cream all globbed on one end, not some specifically allocated amount of everything perfectly wrapped. And, yeah. I think Chipotle's too pretty, healthy, clean, neat. And it's pretty tasty. Honestly, though, I don't think the stuff's hot enough inside. I don't like their little steam-pressed dough. Whatever. If you guys have eaten at Chipotle, you know what I'm talking about. But they kind of flatten it out, the quesadilla. It's this little ball of dough that they put on something and they flatten it out, and it almost feels kind of cold to the touch. I don't want it feeling cold to the touch. I want to go, ah, ah, ah. Yeah, sloppy food that makes you drool. RJ, my food guy, wants to know if I'm a fan of refried beans. Is anybody really a fan of refried beans? Beans are a food because they're probably high in calorie and cheap. I don't know that they're that good. Sure, a smear on your burrito might be okay, or a little dollop on a carne asada that you order at a Mexican restaurant, or what have you, might be nice. But I certainly would never be super excited about a big bowl of refried beans. I would say refried beans are kind of okay. They're like a rice. They're okay. Atwood does not get a burrito. Atwood gets a bowl. Again, I see that. I've had bowls. They're all right. I'm going to get I don't know. I was almost going to get a little more coffee, but I've almost talked for like an hour. Feels funny. I know, fiber is good for you. My first wife was a dietitian, and her biggest thing was fiber. And I do think your body is healthy if you can flush yourself out more consistently and pass things through with ease. And I think fiber helps you do that. So I'm not saying There's not health benefits to the fiber. I've worked at various restaurants that have served various baked potatoes. And I always tell my customers, make sure you eat the skin. It's got fiber and vitamin C in it. And it tastes darn good. I like baked potatoes. While we're talking kind of just empty fillers, I far prefer, I've got a frog in my throat, far prefer a baked potato to refried beans. I could almost live on baked potatoes. Baked potatoes are nice because you can throw them in the microwave and they can go from, raw or uncooked to delicious in like 4 or 5 minutes. Casey's General asked, does 2 tubs of ice cream have health benefits? Well, yes, it does, Casey's General. Because despite the myth out there that calories are evil, you need calories. You need calories. You do. Without calories, we would all starve. So when Casey's General asked me if 2 tubs of ice cream, I almost feel they were mocking. Speaking of 2 tubs of ice cream, I was at the grocery store yesterday. I've probably done videos about it. I'm a huge fan of Nutty Bars. Those little things that come in a yellow box. They're made by Little Debbie. They're little peanut buttery wafers with chocolate on the outside. And oh, are they good. They're so delicious. And I'm cruising down the ice cream aisle, always looking for a sale on Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia. And didn't see a sale on that, but I saw a small tub, one of these pint things, of Nutty Butter ice cream. And I'm going, Nutty Bar ice cream. Since Nutty Bars are probably one of the best tasting things in the world, combining it with ice cream, as you can imagine, I paused and picked up some. I don't know if it lived up to my expectations. And it would be hard to, because again, the Nutty Bar is one of the best tasting things in the world. So maybe I'd be better off just eating Nutty Bars, as good as ice cream is. Maybe I'll just have to give it another try. RJ wants to know what I put on a potato. Well, depends. I usually get them loaded, which is everything they'll put on them. But sometimes just butter and salt on a potato is nice. Jack Taylor says, do I remember when I did shows once a week, enjoying the daily streams? Are you enjoying the daily streams much, Jack Taylor? Do you enjoy the daily streams? I can do them. Clearly, here I had talked for about an hour, and I didn't think I had a darn thing to say. And I was hesitant to go live this morning, and now I go live every day. And I post these videos on YouTube, and surprisingly, people watch these videos later in the day. And stay tuned. My average viewer watches, about half the video, which is good because probably half of them turn off right away and the other half might watch it all. And it's amazing that anybody would hop on and watch one of my videos. I think I got a message from one of my viewers, and they took a picture of the computer, and there I was on my computer, and they were watching me on YouTube, and I thought it looked funny because I'm always assuming everybody is watching via phone. But it's fun, and I see the audience grow, and that feels good. And I don't know, a year ago, and it's not about the money, but I'll tell you what, I worked pretty hard waiting tables, so if I made a ridiculous amount of money doing Coffee with Ken, I probably wouldn't be waiting tables. So if anybody out there hasn't seen my show or is enjoying it, please subscribe and follow my page. But see my number of viewers grow and the amount of watch time grow. And just about a week back, I had my first YouTube video be watched for 100 watch hours. And YouTube paid me like $5.68 for that video. I go, certainly can't retire on $5.68, but it's a start. And my videos used to pay me $1.30 or $1.50. And yeah. It grows. Like a lot of things, it grows, takes longer and more consistently than you think. And you think when you go to the gym that after the first week you're looking at yourself in the mirror going, hey, have I lost a couple pounds? Do my biceps look a little bigger? And the answer is usually no. And if you watch it closely and you watch it every day and you watch the chart and you're hoping that you get more viewers and every hour you go, hey, how many people watched my video? The growth seems really slow because a watch pot never boils. But I watch too closely. And I'm going to post this video on YouTube when I'm done. And I'm going to see how many people watch it in the first hour, in the first 6 hours, and how many watch at the end of the day. But I'll bet you if I stopped doing that and just went live every day and just posted this video on YouTube and looked in 6 months, instead of making $4 or $5 a video, I'd be making 20. And I go, 20. I probably still have the same conversation. Is that worthwhile? Can't retire on $20 a day. It's something. It's more than it was 6 months ago. And then if I stop watching for another 6 months and doing my video, and I looked in 6 more months, which would be a year, next August 18th or whatever it is, and we were all here, and I was still here, in this same spot, in this same room, I'd be making 50 or 100. And at that point, you're going, hey, that's starting to be real money. That might be real money. Maybe I don't have to work as many shifts. Maybe I can work 3 nights a week as a waiter. And I don't know. I think that's the trajectory I'm on. But sometimes when I'm waking up in the morning, I'm going, is that okay? Is that what I should be doing? Should I be waiting tables last night? Should I be going live every day? Should I sit down with a computer, put a resume together, send it out, knock on doors, network, get a real job, sell something, make the big bucks? And I don't have an answer for that. I don't have an answer for that. Jack Taylor said, here's hoping for exponential growth. Yeah, I always dream about that. Sometimes you see one of your videos start moving, and then it tends to plateau, or sometimes a video won't do anything, and then all of a sudden it'll start being watched. I had that happening today. A video I did, and I posted on YouTube. But I woke up this morning, and I looked through my social media, and a video I posted, I don't even know how long ago, that only had like 30 views in it. Over a year. I was working at Target last time, was getting like 40 views an hour. And it was Coffee Break with Ken. And I don't have any idea why the algorithm or the search or the this or the that was showing that video to people this morning. Or why its growth chart, which was like this, for over a year suddenly went like this. And it always gives you the glimmer of hope. And always gives you that glimmer of hope that something you've put out there some time ago is going to take off and get seen by 10 million people. And then you have videos that kind of just do well from the beginning and keep growing. I posted a video a couple weeks ago when I was in Yellowstone, and it said, like, living in Yellowstone, do I miss the suburbs of Chicago, or do I miss Chicago? And it was just a clip from one of these where I was talking. And for some reason, it's been going like this and gets not a ton of views, but like 10 new viewers every hour since I posted it. I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, Henry Ziba and Julie Flanagan, I appreciate you saying that. Henry says he thinks my path is laid out already. Keep waiting tables and stick with the videos. This gives you time for your kids. It does. It does. It does. But I'll tell you, it's sometimes hard. And I guess, again, life's hard. Sometimes I'm tired. Sometimes I'm not so excited to run off to the restaurant in the afternoon and wish I wouldn't be standing on my feet, or wish things were a little bit different. But I think probably everyone watching in some way, somehow, sometimes wishes things were a little bit different. And I think the sooner we're cool with the way things are, the sooner we're able to make things different, if that makes sense to you. William Plus says, I think you would make a great general manager at a high-end restaurant. Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. I think I'd be great at something. I'm great at drinking coffee. I'm pretty great at waiting tables. So, anyway, it's Sunday morning, and it's 7 o'clock, and I've talked for over an hour, I think, already. And my caffeine's starting to get through my system. And I'm starting to get excited about my day. And I know I'm meeting my oldest at 10:45 at church. And if things work out perfectly, I could possibly hang out with my little ones for maybe an hour or so before that, if all things work out perfectly. I'm not going to hold my breath on that, because it's not a good idea to hold your breath on anything working out perfectly. But it could be pretty cool. Got some time, maybe I can relax for a little bit, drink a little more coffee, maybe edit some videos, share this videos to various social media platforms, and do whatever the heck I want today, which feels kind of nice. And what I want to do, because I'm not working tonight, which also feels very nice, is meet my oldest out to church, take my little ones to the park, or for a nice walk with my dog Holly. I would like to get a more permanent home and have my dog Holly back. My ex is a little overwhelmed with the kids and with Holly, and I don't think Holly gets enough love. Holly, my dog, misses her Dada, and I miss her, and she's a good girl, and she gets so excited when she sees me. And I would, again, people were saying, hey, I'm on the right path, keep waiting tables, keep seeing your kids, keep doing the videos, and I agree, but it's hard not getting impatient sometimes and wanting a place where I could have Holly here, and yeah, it's hard not getting impatient. There's no doubt about it. I appreciate that, Henry. Match PT says, asked, when am I finished training? I'm supposed to do 2 closing shifts and 2 opening shifts. I've done the 2 closing shifts the last 2 nights. I think I'm scheduled Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And I think, again, the real bummer about the training, and it's not this restaurant's fault, is that I had just completed my training at the other restaurant when they decided they didn't need a new waiter. So I feel like I'm on the endless training cycle, which isn't very lucrative, and also you kind of feel a little unproductive and a little in the way. And I don't like feeling unproductive or in the way. And obviously could use The lucrativity. The lucrativity. Somebody look that up. Is that a word? Lucrativity? That is actually waiting tables with real live customers that are ordering real dinners and real drinks. So it'll be this week, whether I'm working as a waiter or waiting my own tables, the end of the week or midweek. It'll be sometime in the next few shifts. But I'd like it sooner than later. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to dive in the pool and greet customers and be the best I can and hustle and work hard and learn and do the best I can and be the best I can. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'll tell you what, I need the lucrativity. So anyway. I appreciate you guys for hopping on this Sunday morning. I really do. You guys mean a lot to me. I hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. I hope you had a wonderful week. Julie Flanagan, thank you so much for hopping on. I literally was thinking of you, I don't know if it was last night or this morning, going, I wonder where Julie Flanagan is. I wonder if I go live on Instagram, if Julie Flanagan still watches. I wonder if Julie Flanagan is loyal to TikTok. Thank you, Jack Taylor. Casey's General, I don't even know. It's smaller than my other place, but I don't know what the average check size is. I don't know. It's smaller, but I think there's more customers maybe. But either way, I appreciate you all. And again, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day today. Jack Taylor, I will never forget you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Again, I hope you had a great week. Hope your weekend is going well. I hope you had a great night's sleep. I hope you're feeling good, loving yourself, forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.